don't know who or where, because I can't see anything. Oh, there we go. Hang on 1 second. There we go. Halfmilesniper is live. Road trip. Okay, we got to turn your volume off. We're going to have Wifey reading any questions, so give me a minute to get things set up. Hey, Shaggy. Okay, good afternoon, Shaggy. Woo! I'm trying something new. I'm trying to live stream from my phone while I'm driving through the middle of the desert. So I hit the rest area and I just spent like 20 minutes trying to figure out how to make my phone do the thing. So, like I said, Wifey is going to read out any questions as long as she can try to keep up with it. And that way there I can...
Hey, Halfmilesniper, safe trip. That's from Charles Morgan.
Howdy, Charles. With her reading, I can try to keep my eye on the idiots on the road.
He says it looks really good on video. That's Shaggy.
Thank you. The phone's doing well. I had an epiphany as we were coming up out of Indio. We're climbing the grade towards Chiriaco Summit, and it's like 108 degrees outside right now. But I had an epiphany as I was driving up that this is a terrible weekend to be traveling. It dawned on me that this is the end of the 4th of July weekend, so there's going to be extra idiots out on the road. And there have been enough that have triggered my Tourette's already, so hopefully we don't have a Tourette's incident.
Mini GP Racing, barely saw this. Yes, I'm not too late. Safe journey to you. And then Mike Webb, Halfmilesniper. Hey, Halfmilesniper.
Hey, Mini GP. Nope, you're not too late. I actually jumped in a little bit early. Gave myself like 15 minutes wiggle room in case I couldn't get this figured out.
And Mike Webb's out there too.
Howdy, Mike Webb. So, Wifey had to work today, so I loaded the truck this morning and picked her up from work early, and we are going to press from home to Holbrook, Arizona today. So that's going to be about 650 miles that we're going to cover. It's we left her work just shy of 2 o'clock. It's 3:30 now, and I'm almost a little over 100 miles into the trip. So I got 550 miles to go. I've still got 140 before we hit Free America, and I don't know what kind of service we're going to have. My video on the homemade gun, the one that was actually assembled from parts, legitimate parts with a legitimate serialized frame. Well, YouTube and I are at loggerheads.
Mini B Racing says Free America.
Yes, Free America. Oh, got some on the shoulder. Give us some room. So, anyways, we're at loggerheads because I requested a review because AI said, oh, this is demonetized.
Tom Schmidt says, evening Halfmile. Better have a safe trip and this holiday weekend.
Alrighty, thank you, Tom Schmidt. How are you? How's life in New York? Another state outside of Free America. And anyway, so they did a manual review or a human review, supposedly. And in like an hour, they said, oh, no, this is still demonetized. It violates our standards.
Mini GP Racing says, saying that from communist New York.
Yep. So I let that percolate for a day or so. And then this morning, actually last night, I tried.
Dave Nichols, howdy everybody.
YouTube no longer has like 24-hour support. They have hours of operation. Hey, David Ann, how you doing there? And so I wasn't able to start a reappeal last night, but I did this morning. And got through that. Within a half an hour, they came back and said, oh no, this is still not suitable for monetization because it deals with assembly or disassembly of a gun. You're modifying a gun. I got torqued. I fired an email back to them and said, please show me the exact timestamp where I'm disassembling or assembling a gun. At no time did I assemble or disassemble a gun, and any of y'all that watched it know that.
PG says, hey, Halfmilesniper.
Hey, PG. I talked about homemade guns. I talked about 80% guns. I talked about building a gun. I talked about owning machine guns. At no point in time did I assemble or disassemble a gun on video. So, I don't know if they've replied yet after I launched my hateful email back. I shut the computer down and finished throwing stuff in the truck and hit the road. But yeah, their new rules are definitely hamstringing. I don't know if y'all watch Demolition Ranch. He did a video yesterday about machine guns.
Charles Morgan, build a bowling ball cannon.
Build a bowling ball cannon? Oh, wait, I'm thinking, here's what I'm thinking. Based off of what Carricker did, he did his machine gun video, talked about, yes, this is a machine gun, as long as you don't see me shooting it, we can talk about it. But then they cut away and he shot the machine gun full auto, then he blurred it so you could see him still shooting, but the gun was blurred. Then he put a sensor tab over it, then he put a blanket over it, and at some point they age restricted that video.
Artistic recreations.
Yes.
For Shaggy.
It was how did it work? Yeah, artistic creation. And I think what upset the YouTube folks was his new outro that he made just for that video, at least I think it's just for that video, where it was all just full auto firing. Different guns, full auto. So he talked about this. I used the term homemade gun repeatedly, purposely trying to trigger the algorithm because I wanted to make them justify to me why they would be demonetizing my video. And now they have to justify better by coming up with something more than a BS excuse that says nobody watched the video. But we're on our way to Raton, New Mexico. We're going to shoot a bunch of pistol matches. We got 5 days of competition with 1 day of practice, 2 days of drive to get there, and going to put lots of rounds down range. And at the end of every competition day, I'm going to try to get a video burnt for y'all.
The Mini GP Racing says, "Is this something you are thinking of taking to court?"
I don't think we can take it to court because it's a matter of their house, their rules. First Amendment only applies to the government restricting your speech. It doesn't apply to individual property. Now, all the social media platforms.
Hunting and stuff is on.
Hey, Hunting and stuff, how you doing? All the social media platforms and everything, they fall under this Section 230 that limits them liability-wise of anything that's shown or said on their platform.
Mini GP Racing says that editorial content risks their Section 230.
That's where I'm going. I'm going about Section 230. And once they start limiting, censoring, or dictating the content, that pretty much takes them out of Section 230. And I think Congress and Senate need to get their act together and do something about that.
BG says too many rules. Mike Webb says their game, and they change the rules as they go.
Yep. So I'm curious to see. So I don't know that I'm the first. Maybe I was the first to get a video out that pushed the envelope for the algorithm. Demo Ranch got a video out with machine guns. I fully expect Brandon Herrera to have something come out as well. Hootie may or may not. I wouldn't expect Hootie to push the envelope with him, but I'm a little guy, and I'm going to push. Well, I'll probably, I made the $1.47 on that video before they shut it down. But, yeah, a whopping $1.47 before they shut it down. So. But, yep, their house, their rules, so got to find where the edges are, and I guess the big gun tubers, they all have individual counselors or contact people that they can actually get on the phone. Me, I got to do it through chat.
Mini GP is suggesting a class action between all the other channels.
Yeah, somebody else. I'm trying to remember if I heard it or if I read it. It might have been in Carricker's comments. Somebody suggested a class action amongst all the gun tubers. We'll have to see what comes of that. I did get it. I did like Demo Ranch's dig at YouTube towards the end of his video when he said, "Oh, well, maybe we should go to Pepperbox," which is a new streaming service that him, Donut, Brandon, and somebody else, I'm just drawing a blank right now, have gone live with. So maybe just maybe there'll be a new streaming service just for gun tubers. So we're getting deep into the desert here. Let me see if I can turn the video around so you can see what we look like. There we go. Look at that. Now you're looking through the windshield like a truck driver. We're in the middle of the desert. I won't say how fast I'm going, but I will say it's not the posted speed limit. And as you see, I'm fast.
What's the temp?
Temperature right now, you'll have to see that on your phone up in the top there.
Not see it.
My dash gauge doesn't have, or my dashboard doesn't have a temp gauge, but like I said, it was like 108 at the rest stop.
I'm not seeing it on here.
Hang on a second, and I will find it for you. Actually, I'm not seeing it there. Mine used to show it up top. Don't know what the temperature is right now, but the glass is hot. So it's well over 100 right now. Turn that back around. So yeah, without a temp gauge, no idea what temperature is right now. Yeah, I'm not seeing it on my up in the corner of my phone either. Let me do one thing here. Oh, that's how we do it. We'll go here. Yeah, you don't have that, do you? Now I gotta find your weather. You don't have the weather app. Well, that still says 105 in Amazon.
What if you hit it again? should come up here.
I tapped it. Service is starting to get a little bit spotty. It's taking its time to, oh, there we go. Just came in 110 degrees right now out there.
New Mexico.
110 degrees. It's a little toasty warm. So now do this and we will go back here and the phone back to wifey. And Mrs. Half Mile will read your comments to me.
Something not showing on that screen. It's kind of like that.
I guess I gotta find her. There we go.
Thank you. Jimmy Slim's online.
Hey Jimmy Slim, how you doing there, sir? So feel free to ask a question and I'll have the wife read it to me and I'll try to answer while we're driving rather than me just blah blah blah. Let's see, I see that Tom Schmidt. The scenery reminds you of, and that went away.
Scenery reminds me of when I was stationed at 29 Palms, 78 to 80.
Well,
Miles
Tom,
and miles, nothing but miles.
We are actually not too far away from 29 Palms. It's literally just north of me over this mountain range
And
to my left here.
Sunfish for Fish just signed in.
Howdy doody there, Sunfish.
And Steve Kelly.
Hey, Steve Kelly. How you doing, sir? I would say evening, Steve Kelly, but it's not evening, so we'll say
It is for
afternoon.
him. And Jimmy Slim said he's doing well. Have a safe trip.
Will do. This is I don't want to say challenging, but it reminds me of like being in pursuit, being on the radio, dealing with the sirens and everything while trying to drive safely.
Bit 0285 is on.
Hey Bit, how you doing? So yeah, it's gotta use both sides of your brain here when you do this. But yeah, that's all the news that's right now as far as the homemade gun video. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to probably do a video that has absolutely nothing to do with guns. It might just be yakking and drinking beer and referring to my beer violating the standards by assembling a gun.
Charles Morgan asks, are you drinking iced coffee in this heat?
Actually, no. I drank my coffee already, and I've got a jug of water that should be nice and cool. So, yeah, not iced coffee. Never. I do put ice in coffee, but I don't drink iced coffee, if that makes sense. Oh, that's, you know what? I got something else I want to beef about. And it's a kind of a personal beef. So, my main revolver, we'll call that my Bob Jones, as opposed to my other revolver, which is a Tanaka. Two different gunsmiths, two very different actions.
Yeah. PG buffering's on.
Say that again?
PG buffering.
Oh, we're starting to buffer?
Yeah.
Okay, that could be me, that could be, you know, we'll see what happens. If it goes dead, hey, I appreciate you hanging with me. We'll keep trying as long as we can. And since this worked out, if we have service tomorrow up in the high desert and New Mexico, we'll do this again. But back to my beef. Trigger stud broke on my Bob Jones revolver. And I found a gunsmith that the department I work for has a relationship with. So when we rebeat it, I took my revolver and they said they could replace the stud. I had the part. Last week, I went and picked the shotgun barrels up, and I inquired about my revolver, and they said, oh, we couldn't do that, so we sent it back to Smith & Wesson. This isn't good. Smith & Wesson does not like modified guns. I've heard too many horror stories of people sending a competition gun back to Smith & Wesson, and Smith & Wesson saying, this gun's unsafe. Here's a replacement.
Dale Pogue is on.
Howdy, Dale Pogue. Well, so it's not to sour the relationship between my agency and this gunsmith. I held my tongue until I got in the truck. Then I had a bout of Tourette's. And then I drove 100 miles back to the shop where I had another bout of Tourette's. And then over the weekend I talked with one of my armory buddies, and he suggested, well, give Smith & Wesson a call, so I did. Explained to him, say, hey, this is what happened. Gun shop sent it to you. This is the gun shop that sent it. This is my serial number. Where's my gun? He said, well, let me check. He puts me on hold, comes back like 5 minutes later, goes, oh, well, that's a revolver, and you know, we don't work on revolvers here anymore. We had to send that back to Springfield, Massachusetts, up to the old plant. That's where the revolver people are. He goes, let me get onto their system real quick. So he does his computer thing. He goes, I see they've received it, and they have not started on it yet. I said, okay, here's my issue. And I said, gun's been modified, and I don't want you guys unmodifying it. I just want it fixed. Well, what modifications? So the strain screw's been shortened and cross-drilled and set screwed. The mainspring's been messed with. The rebound spring's been messed with. The hammer's been bobbed, and the single action sear has been ground off. The trigger's been modified. The chambers have been chamfered. The barrel's been changed to a 1 3/8 inch barrel, and it has Aristocrat sight, so it's like a completely different gun.
And Tamora joined T-Bone.
Hey, T-Bone.
And Gord Henderson.
Who?
Gord Henderson.
Oh, Gord Peterson. That's a new name. How you doing, Gord?
Oh, it's Canada.
Pleased to have you join us on my chat through the desert. So, he's made some notes in the system and told me if the factory in Springfield can't replace the trigger stud, he will authorize returning my gun to me as is. That's escaping by the skin of my teeth right there. I'm like, yeah, I would have been very upset if you guys sent back a brand new stock Smith & Wesson Model 10-whatever to replace this gun I had built specifically for the game I shoot. Then Bending Ballistics and I were talking on the phone last night for about an hour. And he's like, well, if Smith & Wesson can't do it, I have a full machine shop, and I've got this gunsmith in 30 minutes from me and this gunsmith 30 minutes the other direction from me. So I do have options if the mothership can't take care of my baby. The other option is Mark Novak, because I watched him do a trigger stud on his personal gun, which was a Model 29. And if they can't do it at Smith & Wesson, I might give Mark Novak a call. Hey, he can make content out of that. Not just your average run-of-the-mill revolver.
And Mike Webb says, pray for a safe return.
Me too. And for the people new to the chat, I'm going to turn the camera around again here so y'all can see what the middle of nowhere in the desert looks like. We just got some pepper trees, some cactus bushes, solar plants, and a whole lot of sand. We're coming up on I believe we're coming up on Desert Center here in just a little bit. Literally a two-building town, one of them being the post office. So, what else do we have going?
That's about it for the moment.
Well, let me try to read. Half Moon Bay? Nope, not going to Half Moon Bay there, Steve D. Headed to Raton, New Mexico, 7 miles from Colorado. Sandbag glory, yes. Definitely sandbag glory here. Got an empty bag, you can fill it. And let me tell you, there are some weird people that live out in the desert. They don't call them desert rats for no reason. It's really a different life out here. Oh, it's getting hotter.
Mini GP Racing, back to YouTube. How about building a modified rubber band gun to see if see if they kill it?
Ooh. Huh.
And Charles Morgan said, I missed it. Where's the match? I think you just answered that.
That's interesting. Would it? Yeah, because they talk about airsoft is okay, and they didn't say replica guns. They said airsoft and something else. And then, of course, the copyrighted footage, fair use. You know, the news footage. If there's some war footage, if there's something showing full auto, that won't get demonetized. But yeah, it's these new rules. It's
okay. So James Kaiser just came on. He was
howdy,
taking
James
a nap.
K. How are you doing?
And then Randall Richardson.
Randall. Hey, Randall. Randall Richardson. How you doing, sir? Before I go back to what I was saying, how are you feeling, Randall? Have they given you a timeline of when your last treatment's going to be? Put it down in the chat there so wifey can tell me the answer. So, anyways, you know, it's like YouTube, being a California company, is trying to impose California laws on the world. They start talking about 10-round magazines or high-capacity magazines. They're talking about standard capacity magazines. But the left, oh my God, it holds 30 rounds. And then California made it law, you can't have an unserialized lower, so you gotta get a serial number from the state of California in order to build your 80%er. And here they are trying to impose California law on the entire world. Well, I'm okay in it. The message pops up on my screen on the phone, but it only stays for a little while.
The 9th, and I'll find out then for sure about the treatments.
Good.
And then Mini GP Racing says that modifying air guns is not okay, hasn't been for years.
No, not modifying, just showing them, showing like kids playing with airsoft was okay. But kids shooting guns unsupervised by adults was not okay. I was 8 years old and hunting squirrels by my lonesome. Didn't have my dad there holding my hand when I was hunting squirrels, so I don't understand the heartache with it. different times, I guess.
What about potato launchers?
Well, that's the second time potato guns been mentioned. I have a feeling potato guns are illegal in California. Somebody just popped in and then went away real quick. Dave something or other?
They're saying hi to Dale Hay. That was Randall Richardson. Dale Krog. Cord, sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, darn it.
So, they are doing a lot of highway rebuilding here. They've they're working on putting down 100 miles of new cement. It's making the drive through the desert a whole lot nicer. The asphalt they used to have melts in the heat, and the trucks were just sinking in like 6 inches. The tire tracks were 6 inches deep. They were causing wrecks because somebody didn't see that there was trenches there, and they just changed lanes real quick and got their steering wheel yanked. Maybe the doctor can explain the spot on my brain. I thought that was your brain. Isn't that what you said? So, but they still have you on the Keytruda, right? Right, Randall? What did Minnie just say?
Minnie said that a friend mentioned the potato launcher. We're not allowed. He's in North California. Oh.
Friend mentioned potato. North California. Yeah, I'm telling you, they say potato launchers are. Maybe they think you can shoot down an airplane with them. Hell, they think you can shoot a jetliner out of the sky with a 50 BMG. I don't think they understand lead, flight time, and gravity.
And Randall's still on Keytruda.
How often are they pumping you full of Keytruda, Randall? Once every 2 weeks or once a month?
Now they consider the potato launchers pipe bombs.
Pipe bomb or destructive device. Either it
can kill a person.
Yeah, they're looking at it the same way. So if it's a destructive device, you should be able to Form 1 do a Form 1 NFA transfer or paperwork. And where did we go?
I don't know.
Okay, that's up. Why are we not getting?
See comments?
I don't know where her chat went. Give me a minute here. I think we lost the chat on her phone. Okay, no, let's go here, let's go here. I think I have to back her out and come back in. No, that's not me running off the edge of the road. The road was diverting around a bridge abutment they're working on. Okay. I got it back for her. Okay, let me read real fast. Every 6 weeks right now, so every month and a half. That's good, Randall. 6 weeks is just enough time to get the poison to stop trying to kill you before they try killing you again. And James, I know Hootie Who didn't like the 6mm arc. Hang on a second, I got a semi in front of me and a car coming up behind me. So well, but I think, I agree, I think it's that 16-inch barrel he's got on that, or 18-inch barrel. I think the 6 arc needs a longer barrel to do something, but my 308, I only have an 18-inch barrel on it, on my AR-10, which was an 80%er, but has been serialized. It even has a model on it. But, oh, I might not want to say that too often, and I'll demonetize this video too. But yeah, that 6 arc I think would definitely benefit from a longer barrel. If Hootie had a barrel 22, even though they did their testing with 24-inch barrels, with a 22-inch barrel, I think he would have much better long distance with it. But then again, even if he had a 24-inch barrel, ammo manufacturers, because he was using their data, I have a feeling their data was overly optimistic, just like the 6.5 PRC data from Hornet being overly optimistic.
Said Halfmile, that's true. Too. Very funny.
Like I said, you're very sweet, man. I meant to ask earlier, between noise, diesel noise, is the audio okay doing it this way? Just so I know that I have to put my road. Oh, we're buffering. Okay, we're back. I don't know if that went through or not, but I was asking about the audio.
Pixelated.
If the audio sounds okay through
Audio
the phone.
is good for
Good.
Steve.
Well, it's because I'm talking from the diaphragm. I'm able to project my voice.
And it's not bad other than buffering. It's tolerable. Good. Buffering a little. Audio and video good.
Good.
Doesn't sound out of the side.
Well, we do have a change of scenery here. Let me show you. We're still in the desert. We've got hundreds of miles of this to go through.
Look at all the tire tread.
Notice how much smaller the plants are here. We've gotten further away from the rain. And we got mountains up ahead, and let's see. I've been yakking for close to 40 minutes. That means we've got to be about 30 miles from Arizona. Maybe. Let me watch for a mile marker.
Light. Forget about light.
Yep, that'd be Blight.
The Colorado River.
So, okay. Nope, I missed the button. Try it again. There we go. Got you back. So I'll watch for a mile marker and see if we can gauge where we're at. They pretty much don't believe in mile markers here in California, I don't think.
And he says 35 miles to freedom. Woohoo!
Yeah. Okay, there's a little one. That says 125, and that's for this just in Riverside County. I know the mile post is like 240 for Interstate 10. So when we get to an exit, I should be, or if we get to an exit here soon, I should be able to get a mile post. Yeah, they're this is not a place to break down. 2017 or 2018, I don't remember which now. think it was the last year we shot nationals in Albuquerque.
It's 2019 then, right? With the trailer?
2019 was the first year in Mississippi. 2018 we pulled the trigger, so it's 2017. 2017, wifey had gone up to our place in Flagstaff. I came up a couple of days later. We left her car in Arizona, then we went to Albuquerque in the truck. At the end of the Nationals, we came home. We came back to Flagstaff. Wifey came home in her car, and I stayed behind because I was putting tile in one of the bedrooms. Tile floor instead of carpet. And she got to a little bit beyond Blythe, out in the middle of this that we're desert area that we're at.
Curtis Hunter's on.
Howdy, Curtis. How you doing, sir? So in the middle of the desert here, her Volkswagen TDI puked up the high pressure fuel pump. And she had to get towed from just west of Blythe all the way to the VW dealer in India. And that was like an $800 tow. And then she had to rent a car at the airport to get home. But it was because it was just after we had the Dieselgate upgrade to make California happy. Because of that upgrade, they knew that there would possibly be problems with the high pressure fuel pump and the diesel particulate filter and something else. And because of that upgrade, she had a new warranty on those three items. So Volkswagen 8, like a $10,000 repair bill plus an $800 tow bill, because the entire fuel system had to be replaced. It sucked. Of course, I got yelled at when it broke down in the middle of nowhere, and I couldn't help because I was 300 miles away.
But we still have the car.
But we still have the car, and it still runs
It's got like
fine.
almost 275,000 on it. After Curtis Hunter was Tom Schmidt, said hi to him. But
You're speaking very softly.
sorry, my ears are plugging.
Yes, ears are plugging. We're dropping down lower. Good, 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 good. Somebody let us know that we are in fact still streaming now that we're getting closer and closer.
Bear on it.
That's an Arizona plate.
It's cute. $217. So 217, 27, 37. We got about 25 miles. So my 35-mile guess seemed to have been pretty close. Yes, sir.
So, y'all got any questions?
He says it's good to go on my end. This is Randall. And this way. Oh. Well, are there any kind of videos you plan on making while you're up there?
Well, the wifey threw a question out for y'all. Asked me what videos we're going to try to make while we're up in the Raton. Well, I've got about 50 rounds, maybe 55 rounds of 6.5 PRC. I've got 2 videos ready to go live. I would have done one last night, but I didn't want to bump Service, who had a Service Venator. He had his Day at the Range Challenge video out last night, so to avoid a scheduling conflict, I put mine on hold. And we will probably, we may do it tomorrow, may not, depends on if we do a live on the road. But I'll probably do it Monday, because I have to factor in the time zone difference, so I'll be playing at a different time zone. I'll still be on the half hour after Hootie. So I've got the next Vitavore N565 test going to go live. Then I have a seating depth test with 54.3 grains of H4831. So those are the two videos ready to go. While we're in Raton, I don't want to tip my hand on any video, but almost all of the rounds are made with 54.3 grains. And we're going to do, I have some rounds loaded in the original 6.5 PRC brass that Randall sent me. That stuff's been loaded like close to 20 times now. And I have some loaded in once fired brass, so we can see if there's a big difference between those two. I have some loaded in some many times loaded Nosler brass, and I have some loaded in once fired Nosler brass, I believe.
But he signed off. So he's signing off.
Then I have some loaded in brand new Lapua brass. I also have some 153 grain A-tips loaded with the 54.3 grains of H4831 that we're going to try testing. And there was something else. What is it? Oh, I want to try to get some time on the 1,000-yard range, because there's somebody in the comments who keeps saying, this data is not valid without a 10-shot group. I don't remember the name. It's not one of our regular viewers, not somebody that hangs in the chat. But I have 10 rounds made up, and I want to see if I can get some time on the 1,000-yard range, the same range that Eric Cortina and F-Class John compete on. And I want to be able to put a target up and shoot me a 10-round group on that range. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I'm going to ask and see if I can get permission to use that range.
Curtis Hunter is asking, how much velocity do you think I'm losing for a 16-inch to 10.50 barrel in 300 blackout?
Well, pretty much, Curtis, my testing has shown 50 feet per second per inch.
That's exactly what Randall said.
Wifey says that that's the same thing Randall said. But yep, through all my testing, and it's held up pretty true. It averages out to about 50 feet per inch of barrel.
And Hunter Martin saying hi.
Hey, Hunter Martin, how are you? So, yeah, let me show you how much the desert's changed in the last 20 miles. Notice how small the bushes are now, and how much more sand we have. And there sure are a lot of semi-trucks on the highway this weekend. Wow, Curtis, thank you. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. That made my whole phone screen turn yellow. That was pretty cool. I really do appreciate that. Y'all are the best. Good half mile, got a new pup in the other day. I missed the rest.
And she's been a wild child. What kind of pup?
Yep, what kind of pup? you've got 2 years of puppy hell coming, don't you? Lots of chewing. Make sure she doesn't get a toy that she can ingest, because you don't want to plug her bowels. We had a black lab when I was a kid. Her name was Misty, and for 2 years she was like typical terrible 2-year-old kid for 2 years. Then she became a insolent teenager for a couple of years, and then finally mellowed out. Gunner, my blue heeler, he was very upset today because he could tell I was leaving. He was very clingy. So hopefully my daughter keeps him happy while I'm gone. What you got?
They're talking about his black lab, nice beautiful dogs, and they said congratulations.
Now I do wish that YouTube had the ability to share pictures in chat. That would be so cool. But I can see where it would become a bandwidth data hog, I suppose.
Charles Morgan actually has 2 labs, and said they do last a long time. And the heart's over it. So.
Let's see, gun people and dog people, they're just...
Oh, they're wild child thing lasts a long time, LOL. Oh, Mike Webb just lost his 17-year-old black lab. That's sad.
Well, we are actually hitting the outer suburbia of Blythe. We'll be coming across Airport Mesa, I think it is. Wow, and a chippy. I believe it's Airport Mesa, and then we'll drop down into the valley right into Blythe proper. And CHP probably got him for going well over 55 with the trailer. It used to be bad. Texas had daytime speed limits and nighttime speed limits for trucks. California's got the speed limit, and then they've got speed limit for anything pulling a trailer. And anything pulling a trailer is supposed to be going 55.
So James Kaiser is asking, what do you think about 60 grains? Hearts on it, but point 22-250 for deer season. I think a 60 grainer and a 22-250 is going to be screaming probably close to 3,500 feet per second. It'll probably be a devastating round. Whoa! We hit a bump there and almost got cattywampus. I don't know a whole lot on the 22-250, but I think 60 grainers in that would definitely be screaming. Tom Schmidt has his dog, my Sadie, is a pit bull, has lots of dogs. Pit bull kind of...
Stephen D, wow, thank you. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that.
And it came from North Carolina. We love pitties.
Oh yeah, my kid's sister, she lives in Scottsdale. She had a rescue pitty. His name was Jake. He had been used as a sparring dog for dog fights. He He was the sweetest dog. His tail had not been docked and his ears had not been cropped. And he was just a pleasure to be around. And unfortunately, he developed bladder cancer and lasted about 2 years before that was obviously getting painful for him to move around, and my sister and brother-in-law had to do the needful, and they had him cremated, and he was there was a dog product company, leashes, harnesses, vests, toys, collars. I can't remember the company, but he was a model for their catalogs. They would send, because he was such a charismatic looking dog in film, they sent my sister these harnesses and collars and leashes to take pictures and then send them back, and then they'd use them in their advertising program. Now, pitties have a bad rep, and so far I've not met a bad one. They've all been just puppy dogs with me. But maybe it's because I'm a dog person and they know that. Don't know.
It wouldn't take about the best dogs I ever had. They're talking about that. Lots of dogs, unfortunately, are going to live longer than them. But we rescued a dog that someone had dumped. He was very poor. He was old and a bit old. Tried to take him to shelter.
One of the people I used to work with, she rescued a number of border dogs. When we worked down south on the fence, she rescued a couple of Mexican border dogs and gave them a good life until their time to cross the bridge came along. And then her and I, we worked together up in Michigan, and she was at the Detroit station. I was at the Marysville station. She rescued a handful of inner city border dogs there under the Ambassador Bridge. They were great dogs. Then she ended up in Las Cruces, New Mexico. So they were working there and continued to rescue border dogs. But she gave a bunch of border dogs a good life.
Charles Morgan's, ours are 50-pound lap dogs.
Yeah, well, we've got one dog he's 85 pounds, I think. He's some kind of retriever mix. Yeah, he thinks he's a lap dog for my wife. There's times he tries to climb up in my chair with me. The healer, he thinks he's a lap dog, and he kind of alternates between laying between my legs and laying on my wife, laying up next to her and draping his head on her lap. It's made for some interesting doggy conversations between the big dog and the healer. Okay. So, for those of y'all who've never seen or been to the beautiful metropolis of Blythe, let me turn the camera around again. I love that I can do that. I apologize for it being a little bit cattywampus. That's a lot of cattywampus. Well, we're rolling into beautiful downtown Blythe. We got the agricultural suburbia, which off to our right should be a date palm farm in a minute. And then we've actually got a subdivision off to the left. Last time I was through here, all the date palms were the fruit bunches were bagged so that as they dropped their fruit, they didn't hit the ground.
Charles Morgan said, "This show has gone to the dogs."
Well, if we ain't talking about dogs, and we're not talking about guns, we're talking about cooking, and you know we always got something going. If Yukikazi was here, I'm sure we'd be talking about cooking and smoking beef. Which, by the way, my brisket was very good, and the smoked baked potatoes were really good, and the smoked deviled eggs were really good.
They're awesome.
And the smoked corn on the cob, outstanding. It's amazing what you can cook with a real wood fire. Great. Yep, that is beautiful downtown Blythe. And we are, this whole trip, we've been in one county so far. We're still in the county that we live in. This county is like 240 miles across. Okay, I'm going to bring you back to looking at me. That way there I can see if we, well, as we get closer to the border, I'll
Show them the
flip it back so you can see the Colorado River. And we'll see if we drop service then. So, wow. Yeah, it's hot. It is hot. That glass is very steamy.
And then Randall says, "Half mile funny. I didn't get none of the stuff you smoked for some reason."
Well, you did get there, and you did not get here in time, Randall. I made, I think it was close to 36 smoked deviled eggs.
Mike Webb hasn't been out here since 1977, October.
Okay, I'm going to turn the video back around just because we are getting very close to the border. We got Intake Boulevard here, which is US 95. Then I think we got Rivera Lane. We'll have an agricultural checkpoint. That's where the ag inspectors shake you down for fruits and veggies and firewood, and someday probably ammunition and guns, who knows. But that'll be coming up in just around the bend. And then I don't know if you can see it in the video. I can see it, but off to the right over here, there are two red and white towers. That's a gas line that's going over the Colorado River. So that is the actual border and free America. So hopefully we can keep streaming for a little bit and not lose video or lose connection when we cross the border. But being free America, they might cut it off and say, no, we're not going to let California come through on that. You have to restart your stream. If we lose the stream, I want to thank y'all for hanging with me and eating up an hour of my drive. Yep. And helping me to stay alert and stay alive. And then I've only got 140, 280. I've only got 390 miles to go, maybe. Yay. There's the ag station. It's off to our left.
There's a little bit of a delay on this.
I don't see any Border Patrol hanging out there today, but they hang out there quite often. So we are at the Colorado River. There's boats, there's people playing in the river, cooling off from the desert heat, and we are in free America. Yay! Suppressor again. We're going to make the 6.5 PRC quiet. I could see that on my screen before it went away. I had to read it really quick. There we go. We got our new Arizona sign. They've gone to a very colorful sign instead of the Centennial sign. They still have a handful of those out and about. What's it? Yeah, sometimes they pixelate while we're streaming. But we seem to be, I drove from Florida to California with a stuffed U-Haul. Stopped at Fort Benning, inspected, yep. When I was coming back with the final load of stuff from my place in Arizona, after getting it ready to rent, I had a U-Haul, and for the first time in years, I got stopped. They didn't inspect the U-Haul this time, but I actually got stopped, and they talked to me. When I first came to California in '86, it was my first time driving through the California desert in a pickup truck that didn't have any air conditioning. I had my ex-wife to be and a 1.5-year-old kid and a U-Haul. And yes, we got inspected, and it was hot, and it was miserable. And I felt like the Beverly Hillbillies. Now that I've got working AC, I don't know that I could make a desert trek without the AC. I could. I couldn't make a desert trip without AC and passengers.
Video poor quality per Tom. And James says, yep, for sure.
Okay, well, we're probably dropping service a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I really do appreciate y'all hanging with me. We'll try this again probably tomorrow, either between where we spend the night in Albuquerque or once we pick up the trailer and head north. We'll try to do another little live stream. Is that going to work for y'all?
Be safe.
Once again, I appreciate y'all hanging with me. Curtis, thank you so much. Steve D, thank you so much. I really do appreciate those super chats or stickers or whichever they were. I couldn't tell, but man, thank you. I really do appreciate that.
Everybody says be safe and God bless.
Okay. Well, y'all stay safe. Keep shooting. We'll get y'all tomorrow. This Halfmilesniper signing off for the day. Take care, y'all. I guess I should have turned it around and look at me when I was doing that, so I'll try that again. Preferably without running into the semi-truck that's in front of me.
He wants to get over too.
Yeah, he does want to get over. So, y'all stay safe. Keep shooting. I'll catch y'all tomorrow on the next live stream.
Let him in. Good job.
Oh yeah, I'm going to let the semi in.